Ukraine joins European power grid, ending its dependence on Russia.
Here's a summary of the article.
Engineers have linked Ukraine to an electricity grid spanning much of continental Europe, allowing the country to decouple its power system from hostile Russia, officials said Wednesday. Belgium-based ENTSO-E, which represents dozens of transmission system operators in Europe, said the electricity grids of Ukraine and its smaller neighbor Moldova were successfully synchronized with the continental European power system on a trial basis. Grid operators had been preparing such a move after Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014, but the large-scale Russian military assault on Ukraine last month prompted an emergency request by Kyiv to speed up a process that was expected to take years more to complete. This step will give Ukraine the opportunity to receive electricity if it continues to destroy our power infrastructure, and thus to save our power system, said Volodymyr Kudrytsky, who chairs the management board of Ukraine's grid operator Ukrenergo. Georg Zachman, an expert with the Brussels-based think tank Bruegel, said the switch will allow energy suppliers in the continental grid that stretches from Portugal to Poland to supply electricity to Ukraine if necessary. This could allow Ukraine to turn off some of the coal-fired power plants it currently keeps running to ensure grid stability, saving precious fuel in wartime, he said. In the long term, Ukraine could export surplus electricity generated by its nuclear power plants to the rest of Europe.
This post received a score of 86,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
How the hell did a project that was supposed to take 2 more years get completed in 2 weeks?
Pure concentrated European rage.
I'm Slavic and I call it famous Slavic grudge holding, a Slavic art.
Norwegian friend here. Relatable.
Those long winters sure let resentments fester. How else do you expect to keep warm if not for the red-hot coals of a good old-fashioned grudge? I'm still angry about the Galician slaughter, damn those landowners straight to hell.
Definitely a win-win.
Assuming Russia allows them to keep their nuclear power plants, that is.
Russia will have to. That's not an acceptable term for a ceasefire, and Russia will not be holding the upper hand in the negotiations when this is over. Edit. To the Russian shills, killing civilians does not get you ahead, and that's the only metric Russia is winning by. No one is winning this war, it's nothing but tragic destruction, but we can be sure as hell Russia will not gain a single thing after this. The world will not allow it.
I'm assuming they mean if Russia doesn't destroy them.
If Russia destroys those plants, it means widespread nuclear contamination. There is no way to decommission those plants quickly. That has to be a red line sparking direct NATO involvement.
There are plenty of ways to fuck over a nuclear facility for a long time without it turning into Chernobyl. The nuke plants in Iran come to mind that were never finished, sabotaged due to the Islamic Revolution. Edit. God damn it, people. Not the Stuxnet shit. We're talking about e.g. Kraftwerk Union, Siemens constructed base for Bushehr. They had their half-finished cooling systems sabotaged before the construction management team fled Iran in 1979.
That was not a reactor.
The electric grid is a cooperative agreement between generators and consumers. It also requires huge expensive power transmission lines spanning thousands of kilometers connecting generators together through switchgear. So this isn't something that could occurred instantly. Companies and nations have already spent hundreds of millions building the lines to make this interconnect possible. What they have done is the final step of bringing Ukraine's generators into proper synchronization to join the European grid and flip the switch. Great explanation.
Is it? I am way more confused than before I read it.
Imagine a kid on a swing. Each time it approaches you, you push them back, giving the kid a little bit of energy in order to keep them going. You do that at a certain intervals, otherwise you'll either slow the kid down, or get smacked in the face yourself. Now imagine there are 2 people on each side. They also need to be in sync, otherwise the same effect applies. Essentially the same thing happened here. In order to connect to the EU grid, Ukraine needs to go, push, and pull in the same rhythm and at the same time as the rest of the Europe. Otherwise, a big oopsie happens.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.